Jim was a normal kid, living a normal life in a normal family, believing a normal faith, going to a normal school where he played with other normal kids, a normal sport. All of Jim's life had been so perfectly normal, except for one damn little crazy thing. James. James was not a normal kid. In fact, he liked other boys. How dare he ruin the life of Jim and the other normal ones at school? How dare he breathe the same air as the others, intoxicated with his evil being? How in the hell could he think that he could live in such a graceful and pure world, bringing destruction and disrupting the harmony of all the perfect lives of all living beings? Of course, Jim couldn't accept this situation, as well as his other normal friends. We cannot accept that one puts ahead of others his priorities and feelings. It's so selfish and egotistical. They could not accept this, so they embraced the quest that was given to them. A holy crusade in order to stop the evil beings to taint and overflow, corrupting all other pure beings. As very civilized person as they are, they first started talking to him, insulting him, mocking him, throwing some uppercuts here and there and jabs, the standard procedure. But he wouldn't change. After all their kindness, he wouldn't change. The cure was not enough. The illness was too deep-rooted inside of James' being, so they beat him up several times. They ripped his clothes off in front of other people, throwing stones and trash at him. But nonetheless, even that didn't work. There was only one solution left for them: turning against James, his own corruption, in the only way he could understand and finally realize that it was about time he changed back into being a normal one. That night Jim was thinking about of all the good deeds they had done for James. He should be really thankful towards them, for they showed him the light, brought the prodigal son back into the light of truth and purity. In the end, his tainted desire for the body of other males must have finally ceased. Jim laughed so hard that night, thinking how could someone like another person of their own sex, how could someone like him, as male and strong as him, like such hairy chests and well-built chins and blue eyes and sculpted abs, strong biceps, as his friend Nick. He liked watching his best friend in the showers, having those huge hugs at the end of a game, feeling the sweat and the strength of all the others of his team, feeling proud for the victory achieved, all together while being together. Jim immediately stopped thinking about those old things. Those were also the thoughts that James must have been. He could not let himself indulge in such this horrible, corrupted mindset. So he tried to catch sleep, but in the end he realized that the only thing he could think about was his best friend Nick, being with him, hugging him, holding his arms against his chest, pressing him towards his heart, take his hand along his legs, then pulling off his trousers, and then he suddenly woke up, covered in sweat and fear of being corrupted himself. That night, he couldn't sleep anymore. And the next days in school, he was a totally different kid. Anxious, fearful, always willing to be alone. He couldn't see anymore his very best friend Nick. And when he saw him, he was very uncomfortable and often looked away from him. He started having panic attacks. He could not show this cancer that it was growing, howling inside of him, screaming in order to get out and be shown to the world as the damned person he had become. He started to go less often to school in order to not contaminate those who were left normal in this world. Also, he started hiding away from his family, who kept asking what was going on, what is wrong with you. He could not let them know the changings he was going through. After a few days of silence and pain and failed talks with psychiatrists, one night Jim decided that he had only one solution to solve his problem. He couldn't accept the fact that this feeling would win over him. So in the end, he decided to do the only reasonable thing that he could in order to become pure again. And the others couldn't help him in this task. He must rip out of his body the corruption. So with only his bare hands, he started scratching his skin, scratching so deep that the muscle was showing up, and then the bare bones, and then disrupting the veins all together so that his tainted and corrupted fluids would flow away from him, give him back all the purity and become acceptable to the world once again. And when his arms were only a pulp of blood, flesh and broken bones, he realized that the only way that he could finish the process was to go to the root of the problem, the origin of the problem, inside of him, here. So he started to attack his chest too, pulling up the ribs and tearing off his chest and pulling out all the organs that needed to be shown to the light and be pure again. And so when what was left of his body, only being a carcass and his blood flowing out, he finally smiled, being happy of finally succeeding in his quest. They say that when you're about to die, you see your life running right in front of your eyes, while he saw the life of another person, James, or to better say, the life that Jim would have experienced, with all the violence and fear and anger and anxiety, if all his friends were to know his secret, while instead in his last effort, he finally succeeded to save his pure essence. Oh, you humans, you find such pathetic reasons to hate each other. I would say, and I'm a clown, that you're even crazier than we are.